This is a video that I've been trying to do for months upon months, and I really have just been formulating my thoughts, trying to make sure that I make all of my points as cohesive as possible. In this video, I will be talking about why Eurylochus, the second in command in Epic the Musical, is one, if not the best written character in all of Epic. Now, I already know that you're typing, he opened up the windbag, all he did was complain on the entire trip. I'm going to try to explain this in a way that made me love the character, and this video is not for me to change your mind. However you view Epic is however you view Epic. I think this project is truly amazing, and I listen to it every day to this day. I mean, it's April 29th. I think I literally only listen to Epic constantly, but I believe that Eurylochus has a very good story arc. Now, does that mean I think Eurylochus is innocent? No, he definitely has made a couple mistakes throughout the series of Epic, and I am treating this as only Epic, not the original Homer the Odyssey. This is like, I'm treating this like the multiverse. Like, this is Eurylochus in Epic. This is Odysseus in Epic, because Odysseus in Epic doesn't cheat. Odysseus in the original story kind of sleeps around a few times. But the way that I'm viewing this is characters in Epic make mistakes, but I like to understand why did they make these mistakes and how were their characters redeemed through little lines in the story, through little arcs. A quick example is Polites. Everybody loves Polites. I like Polites. He's a super nice guy. Polites has a very little arc, which is be nice, greet the world with open arms, kind of be a pacifist, and it turns out the world sucks and you're going to die, right? That's kind of the Polites arc, is try to be nice and then the world turns against you. You can't really be nice and then like you died. But then Odysseus kind of does that and then, you know, he kind of gets messed over. But Eurylochus is a really well-written character, and I feel like not a lot of people give him the time of day because he's not Odysseus. So obviously we all root for Odysseus, but I like to view these stories as I'm not Odysseus, right? I'm a spectator, and I like to understand why each character does what they do. So of course, we're going to be going through all of the songs which Eurylochus is either in or a plot point in a song that maybe helped me understand Eurylochus's mindset a little bit more. So if you haven't listened to all of Epic, I greatly do hope that first you go listen to all of Epic, because we're going to be jumping through the sagas and skipping songs, and I'm going to be referencing future songs. If you have listened to Epic, then hopefully you enjoy the video. And if you are Team Odie, Team Eurylochus, Team Polites, Telemachus, Athena, Circe, Scylla fans out there, where you at? Make some noise. Hopefully you enjoy the video. This is something I really just wanted to do. And now that that's over, let's get started with Full Speed Ahead, the first song where we meet the second in command. Also, I do got the animatics. Let me move my webcam, because I think they put all the animatics in the bottom left, like the people who do it. Let me move my cat cam right there. I think they put all the animatics in the bottom left on who does it. This is a video done by Cyberjunk, so leave a like on that. And I will be pausing in the songs to talk about what's happening in the songs, right? No, just so you're aware. So I will be pausing it when Eurylochus shows up and about like what the hell he's talking about.
600 men.
Oh, good.
600 men under my command, with only one goal in mind:
make it back alive to our homeland.
So, right, 600 men, one goal in mind: make it back alive to our homeland. So, as of right now, Odysseus and all 600 men, their goal is to make it home.
600 men, 600 miles of open sea.
Got my protein shake.
But the problem's not the distance,
It's what lies in between.
and Ithaca's waiting.
Ithaca's waiting.
My kingdom is waiting. Penelope's waiting for me. So full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Captain
Eurylochus,
600 men.
600 men.
600 men with big mouths to feed. And we've run out of supplies to eat.
Curse the war of food stores depleted.
600 men.
600 men.
600 reasons
reasons to take what we can. So, Captain, what's the plan?
Captain, what's the plan?
Right, so that is our first introduction of Eurylochus. This is the second in command. The first thing that I like to point out is majority of the songs where Eurylochus talks, he is always talking about the crew, right? The 600 men, right? He's always talking about the crew. The first time we meet Eurylochus, he says, Captain, we are out of food. We have 600 men we have to feed. We fought in a war. We're all out of food. We need to make sure that all of our men are well fed, right? Now, I will say that, unfortunately, Eurylochus does fall into the category of, like, he was in the musical for so long that he was able to make a mistake. Because let's say Eurylochus died in the Cyclops cave, right? Just picture this. Eurylochus died in the Cyclops cave with Polites. People would have been like, man, R.I.P. Eurylochus, you know, homie just wanted to feed the crew. He has good ground for, like, what he wants to do throughout the musical, in my way. So every time we see Eurylochus, he's usually always talking about the safety, you know, of the crew and Odysseus and himself.
Watch where the birds fly. They will lead us to land. There will hunt for food, my second in command. Now for speed ahead.
Right? And that's right. And then he says, Captain, how do we get the food? Odysseus says, we will watch the birds, because Odysseus is in charge, and we will go. Eurylochus says, okay, everybody, we're going to go follow the birds, and we're up, we're off, and away we go.
Captain Polites, look! There in the distance, I see an island. I see a light that faintly glows. Maybe they're people lighting a fire. Maybe they'll share some food, who knows? Something feels off here. I see fire, but there's no smoke.
I say we strike first. We don't have time to waste, so let's raid the place and...
No, Polites, gear up. You and I'll go ahead. You and I'll go ahead. We should try to find a way no one ends up dead.
We don't know what's ahead.
Give me till sunrise, and if we don't return, then 600 men can make this whole place burn. Now full speed ahead.
So this is also very important, right? Right, Polites sees an island. Odysseus is a little iffy. Eurylochus says, hey, how about we just take all of our men, all 600 of us, we'll go to the island, we'll raid the... Mind you, like, they just got done raiding Troy. All these people, right, are murderers. They're all killers. They're all fighters. Like, so Eurylochus is like, hey, we can, all 600 of us, my bad, not 6, all 600 of us can go to this island, right? And then we will raid it. We'll get all the food that we can, and then we'll leave, and then we'll head home. Odysseus says, nah, man, we'll make it work. But he does say, like, hey, like, if we die, I know 600 of you can raid it. So there is, like, a slight aspect of, like, Odysseus does believe that he can do this, but now, you know, best friends with Polites, so it's all good. And Eurylochus says something that's very important. He says, we don't know what's ahead. We, as the listener, obviously, or people who have studied the Odyssey, we know what's ahead. We know that there's a Cyclops. We know that there's Poseidon. We know that there's gods. We know that there's sirens. We know that there's Scylla. We know that there's Zeus. We know everything, right, already about the story. These people, in present moment, have no idea what's about to happen. Eurylochus says, hey, we don't know what's ahead, being the truth. You know, if that makes sense. We are able to defer, like, oh, Eurylochus is bitching, ha, 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 ha. But in his eyes, Odysseus and Polites might just go to an island and immediately die, which he does not want, right? Eurylochus does care about Odysseus. He probably cares about Polites because Polites is part of the crew. But Odysseus, nah, man, we'll go. And Eurylochus is like, okay, fine, right, there you go.
Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead.
We're off, and away we go.
We're up, we're off, and away we go. We're up, we're off, and away we go. We're up, we're off, and full speed ahead.
So very good song, right? You meet a lot of characters, right? You meet Odysseus, Poltes, and Eurylochus, and you see like the three different contrasts. The way that I like to view it is, right, Odysseus is the guy that obviously, you know, he's the brains per se. Poltes is more of a pacifist, and Eurylochus is more aggressive, which does come back to be like the reason why all of them kind of get, you know, screwed over. Later, Poltes is too nice, so he dies to the Cyclops. Eurylochus is a little bit maybe too angry at the world, and you know what happens later in the musical. And Odysseus constantly tries to think things through, which kind of ends up putting him like in some awkward situation. So the next time we hear from Eurylochus is the beginning of Polyphemus. Now we're not going to be listening to every song fully like we did with Full Speed Ahead. It's just that Eurylochus is in the whole song, so it makes sense not for me just to like play 10 seconds, skip 20 seconds, play 10. Like, I don't like that. So if a song, in my opinion, has a lot of Eurylochus in it, right, then we'll listen to it. But the beginning of Polyphemus is just, we're just going to listen to that. And then the next song we'll go to will be Remember Them. This is the beginning of Polyphemus. The Cyclops Saga. Poltes had his own arc in Open Arms. Oh!
Over here.
Look at all this food. Look at all these sheep. I can't believe this cave has all this for us to keep.
I've gotta hand it to you both. This is quite the treat. There are enough sheep here to feed the entire fleet.
And that is it, right? That's the last time Eurylochus in Polyphemus. So once again, the first time that we hear from Eurylochus in the Cyclops Saga immediately is like, oh, we can now feed the crew. Oh, we got enough food for the crew that everybody can eat. We can finally go home. Everybody is going to be saved. Now, Odysseus then obviously does his thing with the Cyclops. He attacks. They try to do it. Survive is more of an Odysseus Polites character arc, right? Which everybody has their own. And next time we hear from Eurylochus is in Remember Them. Right? Poltes died. Odysseus put Lotus in the Cyclops' wine, made him pass out. He's having an existential crisis.
Captain! Captain!
We must move quickly. We don't have much time. He didn't notice I mixed Lotus in his wine. Mark my words now. This is not the end.
But Captain, what do we do with our fallen friends?
Immediately, I'm telling you, again, the first thing Eurylochus says, again, Odysseus is like, he's angry, he's upset, but Eurylochus immediately, what do we do with the men we just lost? What do you do with our fallen friends? In my opinion, Eurylochus cares so much about the crew and Odysseus and Poltes, right? In this sense, he's like, hey, I get that you're upset, but what are we gonna do about the dead people? Like, we're trapped in the cave. However, like, what do we do with our fallen friends? And once again, the third time now we have listened to Eurylochus and putting the crew first, putting everybody else first. So that's mostly why I wanted to listen to Remember Them. He does talk a little bit later when they're trying to run from the Cyclops. So he's like, Captain, we should leave. And Odysseus just says, wait. And then they say, wait. But I feel like Remember Them is more of a Odysseus arc, not Eurylochus, right? Remember, I mean, realistically, this is what I kind of need to show the end, though, but which is only going to be Odysseus. So it's right here. Right here.
Don't go.
Because this affects Eurylochus later.
Let's grab the sheep and away we go.
This section between Odysseus and Athena.
Have you forgotten the lessons I taught you? He's still a threat until he's dead. Finish it.
No.
So, Athena just told Odysseus to kill the Cyclops. And he said no. This comes very important because people constantly say Eurylochus should have listened to Odysseus later. Eurylochus disobeyed an order. Eurylochus didn't listen. Eurylochus, bad boy, he didn't listen. Odysseus doesn't listen to a goddess who has been guiding him and tells him, hey, you need to go kill that Cyclops. Now, she doesn't say why exactly, because maybe she can't. I don't know. But Odysseus then says no to the Cyclops. To where then he reveals his name to the Cyclops, which comes into play later, right? Once again, this is, I feel like the rest of it is more of an Odysseus story arc, but this little section right here is very important. Odysseus himself is not listening to Athena, which then makes them have a falling out where Athena then leaves, which is pretty bad. The next time we hear Eurylochus is in the Ocean Saga, which is a very, 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 very important saga for Eurylochus' story, as well as the Thunder Saga later. So next time we hear of Eurylochus, we are now in the Ocean Saga, with the start being Storm. Taking too much damage to survive. I can't sing. I wish I could, though.
These waves and tides have grown in strength and size. Is it nature or divine, or a blessing in disguise? Our homes inside, this storm's our final fight. There's no time to die. Comrades, sir, brace for a storm.
Now, we know why this storm is here, which I'll read it later, but this storm, very important to the story.
The likes of which we've never seen before. Brace for a storm. With hope so close, we must keep pushing forward.
Full speed ahead.
Head towards the island, but avoid the crashing waves. Tread where the tide is flat, and then you will be safe.
Captain, we will capsize with these waves. Our fleet will fail.
Have them follow my ship, I'll ensure that we prevail.
Captain, once again, the first time we hear of Eurylochus, I feel like I say this a lot. The first time you hear of Eurylochus in a saga, immediately, Captain, our fleet will die if we go through the storm. Odysseus says, no, follow my ship, I'll make sure we prevail. Now, this is where it's going to get a little bit into spoiler territory. We know from the Vengeance Saga, Hermes says the storm is Poseidon's storm. No mortal can pass the storm. Meaning, technically, as of right now, Odysseus is leading the crew through a storm they cannot pass because he is so driven to see Penelope, which is part of his own character arc, right? He's so driven to see Penelope and his kid and get back home. He just says, we will make it through the storm. In reality, as of now, they cannot make it through the storm. They will all die. They will all die. But something happens later.
We're taking too much damage to survive.
Once again, we're like, brother, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. What do we do? We're gonna die. He's listening to Odysseus constantly. He's listening. He's like, dude, we're gonna die. Listen, I get it. If you were Odysseus, right, which maybe a lot of people who listen to music will relate to him, which is fine. You're loving life. But if you put yourself in the ideas of Eurylochus and or the crew, you're following your leader who is kind of leading you to your death. But you're still loyal enough to be like, oh, I'm going to follow him. But he's like, dude, we're going to die. Like, I'm sorry, we're dead. You're not good. Like, no, you can't beat it.
At this rate, we won't make it out alive. An island in the sky.
So they do end up seeing the obviously the island in the sky, which we'll get to in two songs. Obviously, we're gonna be listening to a lot of the Ocean Saga and a lot of the Thunder Saga. So as of now, in my opinion, they're getting bailed out, right? This island happened to be in the storm that Poseidon sent, and they're able to, obviously do a little workaround. If this island didn't exist, the musical ends right here. Musical's over. Storm, last song. Technically, if Odysseus listened to Athena, this song wouldn't even exist. So that's very important to understand. If Remember Them happens, two split ways. Odysseus says no, then we get epic musical. Odysseus says, oh, okay, goes back, kills the Cyclops. The story ends, everybody's home, everybody's happy, right? So a lot of people make mistakes, but it's about the character arcs, about how they grow and so on through it, right? So they see the island in the sky.
Eurylochus, grab the harpoons, as many as you can find.
What do you have in mind?
We're gonna shoot for the sky.
What?
This is crazy though, by the way. I don't know if I like how high, like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe. I mean, they're warriors, so they're probably pretty strong. I mean, I don't think I can. I got decent biceps, but I was like, can you get an arrow first?
Everyone grab a harpoon and aim it high.
So high, dude.
Shooting for the island in the sky. In the sky.
It's so sick, dude. I would be like, oh no, I missed. Wait, no, this is so sick. And one landed, baby. And that's all you need. Oh, man, all you need is one. This MFer. This MFer, man. So, Storm is another good example of Eurylochus trying to, you know, keep everybody alive. Odysseus, very, very, very just bound on, I gotta get home. I gotta see my wife and kids, which is his character arc, right? Odysseus goes through his own very, very deep character arc, which, ooh, when we get, you know, into some later songs that I'm going to be pulling from, like, trust me, I am an Odysseus fanboy, as probably more than next guy, but I also love, you know, Eurylochus. So luck runs out. This might be one of the more important songs in his arc. Thumbs up, Captain.
Please don't tell me you're about to do what I think you'll do.
You've heard the legends of the island in the sky. This proves they're true. We're in the home of the wind god.
We don't know for sure.
How many floating islands have you seen before? This is the home of the wind god.
And what's your plan?
So this is something that a lot of people always try to bag on Eurylochus with. Is, you know, obviously, how many floating islands have you seen before? It's a funny little joke, like, for sure. But Odysseus says the legend, right? Nobody has ever seen this island. This is the legend of, you know, of the, you know, island in the sky. Eurylochus is just saying, like, we don't know if this is the wind god because it's a legend. There could just be a demon up there trapped, right? Obviously, give or take, in me being a little, you know, skeptical. That's not exactly what he said. This is how I interpreted it, right? He's been like, hey, we don't know, though. And Odysseus is like, hey, man, there's a floating island. There's a wind god. The wind god must be on the floating island. You're like, I don't really know, right? Have you ever heard of something? And you're like, oh, is this the place we're supposed to go to? You're like, I don't know. Then you open the door. You're like, hey, is this PF Chang's? And they say, yes, it is. And you're like, oh, sick. You don't have, your sign outside is broke. And they go, oh, okay, right. Like, yes, this could be the home of the wind god. This also could be anything else. We don't know. But Odysseus is like, hey, man, it has to be. And then immediately right after, which people never give you really good credit for, he says, hey, this is home of the wind god. We don't know for sure. And he says, okay, then what's your plan? Right now he's like, okay, let me hear you out. What's your plan?
I'm gonna climb to the top and ask him for a hand.
You could be caught off guard and lose your life, or piss off this god and infuse us with strife. Don't forget how dangerous the gods are.
Have faith, friend, we've come this far.
So this is why I think this is a very important song, right? Eurylochus once again being like, hey, we don't know what's gonna happen. You're gonna go up there by yourself. You might die. I, as your, I believe, stepbrother, you know, he canonically he is married to Odysseus' sister, but they never hint at it in Epic, right? We just call him his brother later, right? He says, hey man, you could go up there, like you could die, like something bad could happen, which is true. And this comes into play later, where every time there's a god involved, Odysseus gets bailed out, and Eurylochus and the crew are the ones that usually end up suffering. And this will really make sense, like, in Ruthlessness, right? And a little bit later, like, in the Thunder Saga. But Eurylochus and the crew, at the end of the day, are Eurylochus and the crew. Odysseus is the main character, and we all know how that goes. So Eurylochus is like, hey, man, I don't want you to die. We don't know what's up there. Okay, there's a wind god. Now you're going to climb up. You're just a mortal. You're going to go talk to a god. Maybe you're going to be like, hey, can you help me? The god's going to be like, why the hell would I help you? And then kill Odysseus and then be like, oh, there's people attached to my island, and then kill the crew. That could have happened. It didn't happen, but Eurylochus is like, hey, man, that could happen. Now, this section is very important.
How dangerous the gods are.
Have faith, friend, we've come this far.
Yes, but how much longer till your luck runs out? How much longer till the show goes south? How much longer till we all fall down? You rely on wit and people die on it. Whoa.
It's like, I feel like if you listen to that deeply, you'll understand that this isn't, people always say, oh, Eurylochus is complaining, Eurylochus is complaining. This is him trying to make sure his brother-in-law slash best friend slash captain slash king doesn't die. Hey, man, I need you to be careful. What happens if you do this? Like, you relied on wit and people died on it. That's what happens in the Cyclops saga. You try to outwit the Cyclops, and then Polites and the crew died, and part of the crew died. You think that, oh, you can talk your way out of every situation, but stuff can backfire. And I don't want to see you hurt. I don't want to see nothing bad ever happen to you. Like, let's play it safe. That's what he's getting with. I don't want you to put yourself in danger. What happens if things go bad up there? What are you going to do? What happens if this happens? What happens if it, like, it's so beautiful. He's a man concerning about the safety of his fellow brother, king, captain. That's like people who say like, oh, he's complaining. It's like, brother, have you ever convinced anybody in your life ever to not do something stupid? You ever been in the car as the passenger and your friend is speeding, maybe going like 75 in a 50? You're like, hey man, slow down. Like, you could crash. Imagine if your friend was like, all you fucking do is complain. You'd be like, bro, I don't want to be friends with this fucking guy anymore. Like, but that's not how Odysseus is like kind of taking it. But he's like, hey man, like, yeah, I got this. I'm fine. It's a straightaway road. I don't see no cars. We're not in heavy traffic.
I still believe in goodness. I still believe that we could be kind. Lead from the heart and see what starts.
And what will we do when it tears us apart?
Damn, right? So once again, the animatics are not canon, right, per se. The animatics are not canon. This is how this person interpreted it, of being like, hey, what happens if it tears us apart? Polites' headband being like, last time we try to be nice, which is probably how it's supposed to be interpreted anyways. Like, hey, last time we tried to be nice and we listened to the Lotus Eaters because your ass didn't want to raid a village with 600 men. It tore us apart because you now lost your best friend, and subsequently we lost like 8 or so crew members, maybe like 8 to 12. I know it's like different in like Epic. Like sometimes the crew number like doesn't like match. RP El Pinor. So it's a good point. Like, hey, like I get like you want to be nice and happy, but like we just saw that not work. We just saw what happened. We tried to be nice, and that did not work. And the next line, once again, very important. This song is very important.
See what starts.
And what will we do when it tears us apart?
Where is this coming from, my friend?
I just don't want to see another life end. You're like the brother I could never do without.
And suddenly you doubt that I could figure this out.
Captain, how much longer till your luck runs out? How much longer till the show goes south? How much longer till we all fall down? You rely on wit and people die on it. Whoa, how much longer till the snake breaks free? How much longer till your great day sees? How much longer till your strength takes leave? You rely on wit and people die on it. Whoa.
It's like, dude, like I feel like people purposely don't listen to this song. It's like, what happens? What happens if you it's just like, it's so beautiful. I gotta like catch my breath. Like, what? This is genuine concern. this is once again genuine concern. Like, Captain, what happens if everything just hits the fan? What's your plan then? Like, you're a lucky individual. Technically, I believe Odysseus was very lucky due to the fact that he had Athena, who seems to get involved every time Odysseus makes a wrong choice. Like in Warrior of the Mind, she's like, hey, you shouldn't really be doing this. And then in Remember Them, she's like, hey, you should be going killing Cyclops. In my little headcanon, Odysseus kind of gets bailed out by Athena quite a bit. I mean, a lot of it, especially later in the musical, like Divine Intervention. Let's talk about that. So, and now the crew as well. They're like, hey, we listened to you, Captain. You wanted to listen to Polites. We listened to you. We then sent our men to a cave, and then they died. And you and a couple of other people, like, came home. So why, like, what happens if more bad things happen because we want to listen to you? This is like the vibe of like, hey, we should be playing it safe.
Thank you for the concern, but brother, I can assure you, our journey is almost done. I understand that we're tired, I understand that we're phased, but don't forget how much we've already faced. I took 600 men to war, and not one of them died there.
Now, I will say that this is a little bit pulling out of the musical, but if you watch the Ithaca Saga, this is a crazy pull. If you go watch the Ithaca Saga live stream where they perform it live, when they say this part, Jorge, the creator of Epic the Musical, does like a little joke where he says, I'm saying this clearly because people paraphrasing it, but it's something along the lines of like, he's being manipulative on purpose. Like, I know some guys just died, but like, let's think about the war where nobody died because people just died a second ago. So he's saying, hey, I took 600 men to war, nobody died. Let's forget that people just died. That's, so that's like a crazy pull from the creator. Just saying. That's from the words of the creator. Now, it could be a little bit of a joke, could be true. So take this section with a little bit, right? Odysseus right now is being like, hey, guys, it's me, Odysseus. I'm the guy that led us to victory. Not, hey, it's me, Odysseus, the guy that accidentally led us to a Cyclops cave and then got Polites and some other guys killed.
In case you needed a reminder, if you'd like to speak more, let me pull you aside then. I need to talk to you in private.
Damn, hope he's in trouble. Detention!
I can't have you planting seeds of doubt. I can't have you disagreeing each route. I need you to always be devout and comply with this, or we'll all die in this. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So a lot of people, right, understand that Odysseus is the king of Ithaca. Odysseus is the captain. And this is something that I gotta, this is something that you personally have to dig deep down into. If you are Eurylochus, right, take away Eurylochus' name, add your name. If you are you in this situation, and you see your leader, not Odysseus, add your boss or your teacher, your professor, your parents, and you see that the person in charge of you is leading you down a path maybe you don't agree with, would you continue to go on that path for being obedient and listening, or would you try to break free and understand that maybe what is being commanded to you might not be for the best? And that's how I interpreted this, right? Is like, there's my cat, he likes to mess around. Is Odysseus right now is being like, hey man, like, listen to me, no matter what I say, be devout. Don't do this. You're gonna mess it all up. Eurylochus is obviously saying like, okay, right? I gotta say, I'm okay. You are in charge. You are in charge. You want to go down? Look at it. So it's yeah. So I mean, this is very important. If like people are like, oh, listen to Odysseus. Technically, a song ago, he was leading everybody to their death until a magical island in the sky. Epic canon, a floating island is on the sea. A magical island in the sky appeared. Right now, once again, they should all be dead. If this island didn't come up, they should all be dead. So we're going to be listening to Keep Your Friends Close, but we're only really going to be listening to a little bit later, if that makes sense during it. So when he comes back. Right.
Sounds too easy, what's the catch?
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
So this is my own personal headcanon, which I don't know if it's confirmed or not. She said, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. We know that the wind bag is Poseidon's storm. Keep Poseidon's storm close to you. Keep your enemies closer, but keep your friends close. I believe Aeolus was telling Odysseus, you can trust the crew. This windbag is your enemy, which is Poseidon's storm. Now, like I said, that's my own personal canon. It hasn't really been confirmed or denied, but that's how I've interpreted it from obviously learning Invention Saga, that the storm is Poseidon's storm. He says, hey, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, meaning like, hey, you should be able to trust the crew. Keep the bag closed. But it's possible Odysseus didn't understand that, and he thought that everybody else is his enemy, and that kind of comes in play a little bit later.
What? Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Never really know who you can trust.
Captain, what's happening? What's trapped in that bag? Something dangerous, friends, we mustn't lag.
It's treasure.
What?
Bye-bye.
Open the bag!
Let's see what you got.
No, do not!
So this is what is, so people are always like, why open the windbag? Why, what happened? How I have interpreted it, right? And then once again, this is all open to interpretation. How I've interpreted this is when Odysseus comes down, they say, Captain, what's in the bag? Odysseus doesn't tell them what's in the bag because he's already not trusting the crew. He says something dangerous, we gotta go. He doesn't say, oh, I talked to the wind goddess. She put the storm in this bag. As long as we don't open it, we can get home. He purposely doesn't tell the crew that. So then when the Winions show up and then say, oh, it's treasure, the crew is like, wait, why didn't you tell us what's in the bag? And now a mythical creature, by the way, that, nobody, imagine a mythical creature of wind came down and said, oh yeah, your friend's lying, it's actually treasure. Your captain's lying, it's actually treasures in the bag. You'd be like, it's kind of weird. So in this situation, I feel like Odysseus, if he would have came down and said, oh, I got, talked to the goddess Aeolus, she gave me this wind bag, we don't open it. As long as we don't open it, we can take turns watching it, which is going to come into play later in the song. This is what happens. So this is what, and then this.
Everybody listen closely. See how this bag is closed, that's how it's supposed to be. This bag has the storm inside. We cannot let the treasure rumor fly.
We'll try.
So then after the when you say it's treasure, then Odysseus is like, oh, we got to keep this bag closed. It's the storm inside. But he didn't say that to begin with. Does that I feel like what I'm saying, if I'm making sense of, he didn't tell the truth. He beat around the bush. The minions said a lie. So then Odysseus tried to cover it up with the truth, but it was kind of too late because then why wouldn't you say that to begin with, right? Odysseus purposely withheld information from the crew. We can't let the treasure room fly. Like, okay, we'll try, I guess, but and then the bag kind of looks, granted it's all the animatics. Bags look different each animatic, but if you're like, hey, what could have happened up there? Could have been, hey, we're in the storm. Can you turn off the storm? And yes. And here's some treasure, right? That could have happened, right? The crew doesn't know. He could have went up there, made a deal, got some gold as well, and then did it. So, very important.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Now, this is what's very important. This is what's very important. This is what's very important. Listen. Everything is like this. I feel like that line should be in everybody's brain on the story of Eurylochus, right? Everything has changed since Polites. The last time we trusted Captain Odysseus blindly, the last time Polites and people died. When Odysseus took charge after the war, right? And said, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to trust Polites, we're going to trust Odysseus, and then they led him straight to their death, which is bad. So in my opinion, like this is just very important, right? Everything's changed with Polites. Can we trust the captain? Is the captain going to get us killed? Obviously, once again, as we know now from Storm, Odysseus once again will let everybody to their deaths. As of right now, he's bailed out by the goddess Aeolus. With crazy, what is this? Like a cloud what's it called? A pastel? No, I don't know. Boob cover?
Your friends close and your enemies closer.
Never really know who you can trust.
For 9 days I've stayed wide awake, trying to make it home with no storm or tidal wave. I remain unopposed, the bag is still closed, and I'm getting closer to you.
So we don't really need to listen to the rest of the song per se. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, but for 9 days Odysseus has stayed awake. 9 days. This is another part of the song that I feel like people and I know I say sometimes people, right? I'm just using it broadly. Where I see not a lot of people, per se, emphasize. 9 days he stayed awake. Meaning, imagine, once again, you are part of the crew. You are Eurylochus. You're the second command, or you're part of the crew. You're on the boat with Odysseus. And he is like, nobody touch the bag, right? Nobody touches bag. Nobody touches bag. Nobody touches bag. Odysseus is not putting trust into the crew. As of right now, once again, as of right now, in this moment, where Odysseus is 9 days in the sleep, nobody in the crew has betrayed him, not listened. They've all followed everything he has said to a T. But because Aeolus hit him with like a riddle, he's like, I can't trust anybody. I'm the only one that can hold his bag. If you were the crew or Eurylochus, you would be like, why can't we touch the bag? Why is Captain not trusting us with the bag, right? Odysseus in himself, my cats are chasing each other. Odysseus in himself kind of sowed the seed of deceit in the crew because he doesn't trust the crew to hold the bag. If he says, hey guys, this is the wind bag. We need to take turns. No, we're going to have 2 guys on watch to make sure both guys don't open the bag. And then if the bag does get open, we'll know who opened the bag per se. But instead, Odysseus holds the bag for himself the entire 9 days and doesn't trust the crew. And people say, why did the crew not trust Odysseus later? Why did they open the bag? This dude's, he's crazy as of right now. Imagine that. Imagine that. Put yourself in the shoes with you and your best friend. Your best friend's like, I got to hold this bag. And then they won't let you touch it, won't let you touch it. And one day they pass out, you're like, what the hell are they trying to hide in this fucking bag? What are they trying to hide in this bag? Let's fast forward a little bit. Obviously, why is my heart and my soul so heavy?
Odysseus, they're opening the bag! Wake up! Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Never really know who you can trust.
Where's the storm taking us?
I said to keep the bag closed, but you weren't compliant. If I had to guess, you're headed to the land of the giants.
Right, so the wind bag is now open. The wind bag is now open. Now this, what I'm about to say, is the reason that I believe people purposely hate Eurylochus. The wind bag opening does not get the crew killed. The wind bag opening saves Ithaca and Odysseus' life. Now let me repeat that. The wind bag opening does not get the crew killed. Eurylochus did not get the crew killed. There's a very important segment in the next song and some later songs. This is like saying Polites did not get the crew killed. They happened to go to the Cyclops cave and stuff happened and Polites died and the crew died. Not necessarily Polites himself killed the crew. Does that make sense? So when it's very important, so Odysseus, so then Poseidon shows up. Right, Poseidon shows up.
Do you know who I am?
So now they're back in the storm, right? Poseidon's there. And something very important is, I believe it's like right here. Right here?
A Greek. 'Cause you fight
Right here, right here, right here.
what I hate.
Right? Poseidon's just dogging on him.
Cause you fight to save lives, but won't kill and don't get the job done. I mean, you totally could have avoided all this had you just killed my son. But no.
So, in retrospect, right? Eurylochus opened up the windbag, which we find out later. But I'm just gonna, oh, there it is. Eurylochus opened up the windbag. Even though in that animatic they don't show Eurylochus, right? Eurylochus opened up the windbag. Poseidon then says, hey, if you would have killed my son, none of this would have happened, right? None of this would have happened. And for some reason, and I don't know why, the fandom is more mad that Eurylochus opened up the windbag than they are of Odysseus not killing the Cyclops. Which, in my eyes, is hypocrisy. And hypocrisy is something that I don't necessarily enjoy people doing at all. If you are going to say Eurylochus and the crew should have listened to Odysseus, that is correct. And I'm agreeing with you. But Odysseus should have listened to the goddess of wisdom, master of war, Athena. So any criticism you're going to have towards Eurylochus, you have to have on Odysseus as well. And this is what's very important, is Eurylochus opening up the windbag does not get the crew killed. Because as you see, they open the windbag, the crew is alive. What happens next is the reason why the crew dies.
You are far too nice. Mercy has a price. It's the final crack. We're about to break the ice now. You reveal your name, then you let him live.
Right? Once again, talk about how Odysseus is the reason why all this is happening.
Unlike you, I don't know. This is mercy. And now it is.
Right here. So this is what's very important. This is, I feel like a lot of people, once again, they skip this part of the song just so they can say Eurylochus opened up the windbag and that's why everybody died. Eurylochus opening up the windbag did not cause the crew to die. What happens next is the reason why the crew died.
It's finally time to say goodbye. Today you die. Unless, of course, you apologize for my son's pain and all his cries.
Poseidon gives Odysseus an out. Apologize. I will forgive you. You have to apologize. All Odysseus now has to do is apologize. Poseidon, I'm so sorry that we hurt your son. Poseidon, please forgive us. I'm so sorry. We're sorry. We're all sorry. Please forgive us. Please forgive us.
Poseidon, we meant no harm. We only hurt him to disarm him. We took no pleasure in his pain. We only wanted to escape.
Not a single I'm sorry, which comes into play later. Not a single I'm sorry. He tried to rely on wit. He tried to reason with Poseidon. He tried to be like this. He tried to justify hurting his son. Oh, your son attacked us, so we had to attack him back. We didn't really want to, but we did, so that way we could live. We hurt your son so we could live.
The line between naivety and hopefulness is almost invisible, so close your heart. The world is dark and ruthlessness is die.
The crew died because Odysseus didn't listen to Athena and Odysseus didn't apologize to Poseidon. That's why the crew died. It has nothing to do with the windbag. Zero to do with the windbag. And as we find out later, if the windbag remained closed, the windbag doesn't need to be open for Poseidon to show up. So then, right, like the windbag has nothing to do with. My cat's meowing like really badly. 1 second, 2 seconds. Dude, he's laying in the middle of the living room. He knows how to get me, man. I love my cat. Listen, I love my cat. Little break. I love my cat. But yeah, so the windbag opening had nothing to do with the crew dying. People want to blame it on Eurylochus because they don't want to blame it on Odysseus. Odysseus is the reason the crew died. And that's fine because it kind of had to happen for him to become who he is later, right? So the crew is dead, right? The crew is dead. They move on. Sorry, I printed down there. You know, I love my cat. Oh, and this is another important part for Eurylochus. He's only in one song on the in the Circe saga. In the Circe saga. My girlfriend's favorite song.
Captain, I have something that I must confess. Something that I must get off my chest. Until it is said, I cannot rest.
And that's why he's my GOAT. Immediately, this man, Eurylochus, tries to rat himself out. Moments after what just happened, he tries to say what you want. You know why, Mo? You know why people don't like Eurylochus? Because this man has accountability. When he messes up, he will always be the first one to be like, oh, I messed up. Oh, okay, this is my fault. He opened up the windbag, and then the star of the deck, right? And then Poseidon shows up. It's not like he can confess right there. When they get to safe land, he immediately says, Captain, I have something I gotta tell you. Listen, something happened. I gotta tell you. And
Captain, you really
Odysseus doesn't
Make
listen.
sure this island is secure.
But Captain,
There's only so much left we can endure. Whatever you need to say can wait some more. Of that I'm sure.
okay.
Once again, Odysseus tells Eurylochus, go do something. Eurylochus says, okay, right? This is twice now. First one in luck runs out. He says, you know, make sure to listen to me. Okay. This time, I'm trying to tell you something very, very important. I literally have to tell you this. Now go do this thing. Okay, right? Which makes sense. If you are trying to really express yourself to the person in charge and they constantly are like, actually, it doesn't matter like what you're saying. Okay, you're trying to tell me something. It doesn't matter. Listen to what I say. You're going to say, okay. You're going to be like, this, like, you're going to, something in your brain's going to click and like, something's like not right. So Eurylochus immediately takes accountability and then listens to Odysseus. What a great character. Why? How can you hate this character? He done one wrong thing so far in the entire musical. He has done one bad thing. Everything else has been a positive, one negative. And the thing that's negative is opening up the windbag, which doesn't mean the crew got killed. He just opened up the windbag. Odysseus is on, led crew to cave, got crew killed. Didn't apologize to Poseidon, got crew killed. Twice. Which is fine.
Eurylochus, back so soon. Where's the rest of your crew? And by the gods, what happened to you?
We came across a palace. Inside we heard a voice. It seemed to show no malice. To greet it was our choice, but
Inside we heard a voice. It showed no malice. To greet it was with choice. He is once again taking accountability for his actions. We saw this thingy. We chose to approach it because we thought it was safe. We willingly approached this, by the way. We didn't get tricked. We didn't get swindled. We didn't get peer pressured. We were like, let's go check that out. We decided to go in. Accountability again.
nothing could prepare us for the power that awaited inside.
What did this palace hide?
Oh, tell me, like,
Since we left home, we faced a variety of foes from a wide range of places. Gods, monsters, you know the roster. Hostile creatures that we could resist. But this was a hell of a twist, cause we are weak to a power like this.
What was it?
A woman.
What?
She had us in just 2 words.
Come inside.
right? So he said, like, hey, man, like, we're kind of weak to women. Now, Eurylochus stayed outside once again. In the canon, he is married to Odysseus' sister. Eurylochus didn't go in. Maybe he's loyal still. Maybe he's not loyal, right? That's not confirmed, right? The way I'm perceiving it, homie is just as loyal to Odysseus' sister as Odysseus is loyal to Penelope in the epic. Nobody wants to give him credit for that. It's crazy. Damn.
Welcome to the best part of your life. Go ahead and rest wherever
Fast forward a little bit.
Only I stayed outside, but the rest went in.
Take a seat.
Fast forward a little bit more.
You're tired from you now.
By the time they ate, it was far too late. For inside the meal,
Think of your past.
she had cast a spell.
And your mistakes.
They began to squeal
They'll be the
and
last
grow snouts and tails.
mistakes you'll make.
She changed them.
I've got all the power, yeah. I've got all the power. Now I'm not a player, I'm a puppeteer. Now I
God,
don't
such an
play,
amazing
I'm
voice.
puppeteer, yeah.
They transformed,
This is the price.
and it wasn't quick.
We paid a
She
live.
turned our men
The world is not
from men to pigs.
and to forgive.
She changed them.
I've got all the power, yeah. I've got all the power. No, I'm not a player, I'm a puppeteer. No, I don't play, I'm puppeteer, yeah.
We have to go save them.
No, we don't. Look at all we've lost and all we've learned. Every single cost is so much more than what we've earned. Think about the men we have left before they're none. Let's just cut our losses, you and I, and let's run.
So, this is what's very important, right? So, everybody's like, hey, Eurylochus wanted to abandon the crew. Eurylochus wanted to abandon the crew. Once again, as of now, before we know about the next song, wouldn't you like? As of now, this is a normal human and a normal human about to go up against a woman who can do magic and spells. I don't know if Cersei is a god per se. She might be like a witch type, enchantress type archetype. So Eurylochus is like, hey man, I get it, we can't go save, we are powerless against this. Everything that has happened right now is because mythical creatures keep getting involved. And every time a mythical creature gets involved, we end up paying the price. The crew, not Odysseus, right? Once again, Eurylochus and the crew pay the price. The Cyclops, Polites and the crew die. Poseidon, the crew dies. Cersei's Island, the crew gets transformed. In Eurylochus' eyes, every time there is a mythical creature, people are dying. So now he's like, brother, let's just leave, man. We can't do anything. We're powerless. We keep overextending ourselves and we're going to die. Now, Odysseus does have, he does have a decent rebuttal here. I'll give him that. So, let's hear him out.
Of course I'd like to leave now. Of course I'd like to run. But I can hardly sleep now, knowing everything we've done. There's no length I wouldn't go if it was you I had to save. I can only hope you do the same.
Right? Pretty good. Being like, hey man, realistically, Odysseus does indeed love the crew, as we'll find out in later songs, just as much as Eurylochus. I'm not gonna argue that fact. And Odysseus is like, hey man, if you were captured, my ass would not give up. Which is a nice thing to say. Now, if your best friend got captured by, this is same. I like to use the example of if your best friend's in jail, are you gonna go bail him out? Are you gonna go break into the prison and get him out? You're like, no, because if I try to go break him out of the prison, I'm gonna also get arrested, and then we'll both be in jail. But if you happen to know maybe the sheriff of the city, and the sheriff helps you get your friend out of jail, then you're chilling, right? Which is kind of what happens in Wouldn't You Like, right? He has to get divine intervention in order to go save his men. If Hermes never shows up, Odysseus is a pig, and Eurylochus might also be a pig. He might be like, oh, fuck it. And then they're all pigs. And then once again, as of now, if Hermes doesn't show up in the next song, Epic the Musical once again ends. It ended, right? There's 3 points now it could have ended. Could have ended in Remember Them with Odysseus killing the Cyclops. It could have ended in Ruthlessness with Odysseus apologizing. And it could have ended now with Cersei turning them all in the pics, right? 3 points.
I can hear her still,
No one will find
and her voice deceives.
their way between.
What if she can't be killed, right? He's asking, what if we can't kill her, brother? What if we go and we can't kill her? She's like a god, witch, enchantress. We can't kill this fucking woman. What is your plan?
My name's and
Will you choose to leave?
Their loving queen.
I don't know.
I've got all the power, yeah. I've got
I don't
all
know.
the power. No, I'm not a player. I'm
Hope he's back, by the way. He's done
No, I
screaming.
can play. I'm puppeteer,
She's
yeah.
a clever witch,
This is the price.
and she's hard to slay.
We paid it all.
It's a game of wits,
We draw the line.
but you don't have to play.
He said, like, brother, I get it. Like, you can try to, like, outsmart her to get in, but you don't have to. We can leave. We can just go on. Like, you're watching your friend go to, as of now, you are watching your friend go to his certain death. You just watch 10 of your dudes, maybe 10, 5 to 10 of your guys get turned into pigs, and now you're watching your best friend, brother, Captain King, go there as well. You're like, no, you can't. Please don't go. Please don't go.
I have to try.
I've got all the power, yeah. I've got all the power. No, I'm not a player. I'm a puppeteer. No, I don't play. I'm a puppeteer, yeah.
Right, and obviously Hermes shows up, and this is like a very big point. Another god shows up to bail out Odysseus. If Hermes wasn't there, epic is over. But Odysseus gets the favor of Hermes. He gets the holy moly. Obviously, he's able to defeat Circe. Now, this is where we're gonna take another big jump, all the way to the Thunder Saga, right? But if you don't know, I'll do a little thingy. He gets the holy moly from Hermes. He goes, he fights Circe, he beats her. Circe then tries to smash. Odysseus says he misses his wife. She says, okay, I'll give you to the underworld. Now, the underworld is like a decent song, I would say, for the arc of Eurylochus as well. Like, there is no Eurylochus in this song, but Eurylochus is probably also hearing this right now. None of it's not canon, that's why I'm not going to really make it a big point. But Eurylochus is also seeing the dead crew, right? Everybody else is also seeing the dead crew. Everybody else probably also saw Polites, and they probably saw Odysseus' mom singing. So everybody else is also probably super affected by this, but obviously Underworld Saga is very, 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 very important for the Odysseus arc of him becoming the monster, which, by the way, great song. So Suffering, so there's a part of Suffering, and we're going to listen to a specific part of Suffering and a specific part of Different Beast, and then a specific part of Scylla, and then all of Mutiny, and then a specific part of Thunderbringer. So a lot, very similar to the Ocean Saga, a lot of Thunder Saga is realistically the breaking point of Odysseus and the crew. This is where it becomes a multiplayer game, where then he decides to go to his own server and play solo. So Suffering is, if we go to this part.
So that you are sent left.
But I'm just
Of course.
Right here. So this is what's very important.
Okay, so let's say I was on the run, or hiding, from, I don't know, Poseidon. And let's say he blocked the way home with giant waves and giant storms.
Oh no.
How am I to evade him? How am I to get home? Which route should I take? Where am I supposed to go?
He will chase you high and low, so find a place he'd never go. The one way you'll get home is sailing where he's scared to roam. Oh, it's through the lair of Scylla.
No.
This is your only way home, the lair of Scylla.
But Scylla has a cost.
Will you
So pay attention to what he said, right? So Odysseus is talking to the siren. He then says, you have to go to Scylla. Now, there's nothing important as of right now, but it is going to come in importance in 2 points from now. 2 points from now. So now let's go to Different Beast. Which is once again, and then this point as well is going to be, this point, the next point is going to be important for the next point. Trust me. It's all going to make sense. You need the last point to make these first 3 points make sense.
For no wife of mine. You've been trying to take my life this whole time.
This song's so good, dude.
I know underwater there are packs of you hiding. Yeah, I know exactly what you are. A siren. My real wife knows I'm not scared of the water.
Not right now, not right. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming.
And my real wife knows I don't have a daughter. But while you were so focused on turning my men into snacks, you didn't notice that your friends got snatched.
What?
Oh, wait,
We
okay,
snapped
wait.
from you.
We are the man-made
I guess it's the second verse.
monsters. We are the ones who conquer. You are a threat no longer. We won't take more suffering from you.
We've been away from home for about 12 years or so. First we slayed in our own war, and now we're here with more foes. While on the run from Poseidon, we found a ship with no crew. I realized nearby there were sirens singing sailors
Okay, this is the important part right here.
to their dooms. We filled our ears with beeswax, that's how we resist your song. You pretended to be my wife, so I just played along. I read your lips and phrases, scanning for information. Sirens know
Right.
about every route and horizon. Now I know how to get back to my island.
So Odysseus, and this is actually this might be one of the biggest things that I feel like nobody talks about. Odysseus says everybody else has their ears plugged and they're off dealing with sirens. Odysseus is then saying, I'm the one reading your lips to figure out where we go. Okay? So everybody else is doing it. Oh, they all got their ears plugged. Nobody can really hear. Odysseus has to read the siren's lips to fully understand what she is saying. Now we fast forward a little bit. And this is the important part.
We're ending this now. Throw their bodies
This specific section of the chorus.
back in the water. Let them drown.
He is a different beast now. He is the one who feasts now. No more of us deceased, 'cause he won't take more suffering from you. He is the man-made monster. He is the one who conquers. You are a threat no longer. He won't.
The crew is chanting. He is the different beast now. He is the one who feasts now. No more of us deceased, right? The crew is saying Odysseus is now our protector. He's going to make sure that we all stay alive. We are now the monsters because Odysseus is looking out for us, which is what makes the next two songs that much more important for this saga. Imagine you're listening to your captain. You are like, that's our guy. He's committed, right? And Monster as well. He said, fuck everybody else. I'm gonna be a monster, everybody else, not to our own. And the crew's like, hey man, that's our captain. He's in charge. We're not gonna die no more. We're gonna make it home. Now we all know what the next song is, and let me tell you, that might be also why there's a turning point in the crew. Because imagine you just made a song about how we're the ones who feast now. No more of us deceased. And then the next song, 6 of your men get fucking slobbered up. You might be a little bit fucking perturbed as well. So now we're going to make our way over to Scylla, which has very, 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 very important lyrics tied to Odysseus and the way he feels. And remember, Odysseus right now is by himself. Technically, maybe. He's animatic, right? Non-canon, but he's talking to himself. Because Eurylochus walks up to him.
This is our only way.
And listen to what Scylla says. Scylla, I'm not gonna pause it when Scylla's talking. Scylla's basically saying that Odysseus is as demonic as she is. Her and Odysseus are the same. They are both deep down in their core. They do not care about anybody else. Probably at this moment, right? Or maybe forever, right? Because throughout the music, Odysseus kind of did care about the crew. But as of this moment right now, Odysseus only cares for himself. And that's what Scylla is saying. So, very important.
Deep down,
You're quiet today.
deep down,
Not much,
Not much
to
to
say.
say.
Deep down.
you hide a reason for shame.
I got a secret I can no longer keep.
Deep down.
You
while you were asleep.
Once again, let me tell you right now, right? They don't really kiss open the windbag. Yes, is that bad? Of course. He tried to tell him in Puppeteer, and then stuff happened. Then obviously they went through the Underworld saga. Stuff happened. And then they are now on the way back home. Eurylochus once again takes accountability for his actions and says, "Hey, by the way, I'm just gonna say it. I'm not gonna warn you. I'm the one to open up the windbag." And what does he say right after?
Leaving them feeling betrayed, breaking the bonds that you've made.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. Odysseus has done so many fucking bad things throughout this musical, right? Remember, what did Poseidon say? I will forgive you as long as you apologize. And Odysseus did not apologize. Eurylochus messed up, and he is apologizing. I am so sorry.
There is no price we won't pay.
Forgive me.
Forgive me. Now, this is going to be a huge stress all the way back to the horse and the infant and just a man. When Odysseus kills the baby, what does he say, right? When they're chanting, when does a man become a monster, right? Odysseus says, forgive me. Forgive me, right? Odysseus is also begging for forgiveness. Now, Eurylochus messes up. He's like, I open up the windbag, takes accountability. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. And people still want to hate on this man. He took accountability. He admitted to it, tried to admit to it twice, then just flat up admitted to it, and then asked for forgiveness and said, brother, I'm sorry. I had a lapse in judgment. We all have, a lot of people in this musical had lapses of judgment, right? But he's the one that apologizes. Odysseus doesn't apologize until, like, I believe way later, when everybody's already kind of fucking deceased.
We both know what it takes to survive.
Full speed ahead.
I love it, dude. I love it when I love the harmonies. I love the full speed ahead every time. Full speed ahead. I can't sing. I wish I could. Please. Somebody give me vocal lessons.
Full speed ahead.
Deep down, we only care for ourselves.
Eurylochus, light up 6 torches.
Now, obviously, he spits out Eurylochus, and everybody's like, "Yeah, give Eurylochus all 6 torches." Once again, Eurylochus did not get anybody in the crew killed at all, ever. It was all Odysseus' actions that got the crew killed. Eurylochus just happened to realistically, like, be there. Eurylochus got nobody killed. 2 times gods have given Odysseus outs, and both times he did not listen. And now he's like, hey, you know what? You open up the windbag, fucking you should die then.
Deep down, we're lonely demons from hell.
Captain, something approaches.
So this is what I want to say. They say, Captain, something approaches. What did I say earlier in Different Beasts? Everybody has their ears closed. Odysseus has to read the lips of the siren to then say, oh, we got to go to Scylla. Odysseus knows Scylla has a price. He probably didn't tell the crew, hey, we're going through the lair of Scylla. He said, oh, the siren said we got to go this way. And then he says, hey, light up 6 torches. Nobody knows what's happening as of now. So when Eurylochus says, hey, Captain, something approaches, right? Once again, the animatic is a little bit...
Captain.
Right.
Something.
Right. Once again, the animatic is, not canon, but, this is how you can interpret it in a way. Odysseus knows what's about to happen. The crew has no idea that 6 of them are about to get fucking yeeted into the stomach of Scylla. Because they didn't read the siren's lips. Once again, Odysseus told the crew, hey, go round up all these sirens. The crew, once again, listened to Odysseus. And Odysseus had a little bit of a little plot point underneath, being like, I'm not going to tell them where we're going because I need 6 of these guys to die so I can get home. Very important. Now, that's really the rest of Scylla, right? The crew, 6 of them do die. And Mutiny might be the most important song ever and my #1 song in all of Epic.
Tell me you did not know that would happen. Say you didn't know how that would end. Look me in the eyes and tell me, Captain, that you did not just sacrifice 6 men.
So once again, people want to make the point, oh, Eurylochus opened up the windbag and got the crew killed. As we discussed, and as we listened to the musical, Eurylochus opened up the windbag, did not get the crew killed. Odysseus not apologizing to Poseidon, got the crew killed. Odysseus not listening to Athena, ended up getting the crew killed. Odysseus my voice cracked. Been talking so long. Talking for like an hour straight. Odysseus specifically got 6 people killed. He willingly got 6 people killed. It wasn't an accident. Even if Eurylochus got the crew killed, which he didn't, but let's say he did, he was by accident. He opened up the windbag, which he shouldn't have, and then it caused a storm, and then Poseidon happened to be there, and then the crew happened to die. It wasn't open up this windbag and the crew will die. They open up the windbag and then, you know, shit hit the fan. Odysseus willingly killed 6 people. This is the same as if you're driving down the road, you're driving, and a guy jumps in front of your car, boom, you hit him. You killed that guy, but it was an accident, right? Are you a murderer? Kinda, but like, it wasn't on purpose. This is the difference of you driving through, you know, a public park in your Ford F-150, hitting 6 people on purpose because you were mad that fucking the Nintendo Switch 2 cost $600, right? That's the difference here. One was on accident, maybe stuff hit the fan, it'd be like that. The other one is he willingly chose to kill those 6 members so he could get home.
Use your wits to try and say I'm crazy and mad.
And Eurylochus is so fucking committed to Odysseus, he doesn't even believe it. In Eurylochus's mind, there's no possible way Odysseus would ever kill 6 people. He says this has to be a joke. This has to be so, because the Odysseus I know would not do this. But as us, the listener, we know that Odysseus is the monster now. And Scylla already hinted towards it that you only care for yourself. But in his eyes, as of this moment, there's no way Odysseus would willingly kill 6 people. And mind you, this is 6 people on this ship, meaning that they have all probably gotten to get to know each other a little bit better. And he still chose to kill 6 people. Killing 6 strangers, still bad. But imagine you went to like a summer camp, got to know people at the summer camp, and then at the end of the summer camp, you're like, oh, I'm going to kill fucking Bridget, Dan, you know, and 4 other names, right? Like, there's the difference.
That this is awesome trick the gods have sent.
In denial.
Tell me you did not miss home so painfully bad that you gave up the lives of 6 of our friends. When
this part's very important, right here.
we fought the Cyclops, you were quick to hatch a plan. And when we fought with Circe, it was you who left behind no man. But when we saw this monster, we didn't take a stand. We just ran. Say something! I can't!
Eurylochus is giving Odysseus the benefit of the doubt. The gods must be playing a trick, right? This isn't you. Please tell me you didn't kill these people. Please tell me the gods told you to kill these people. And then he goes on to say, throughout this adventure, you're the one that's supposed to have a way out. You're the one that's been thinking of all these strategies. When we did the Cyclops, you're the one that thought of the Lotus Eaters, right? When we fought Circe, right, you're the one who happened to get a gift from Hermes and free our men. Eurylochus is saying, you're better than me, right? Because Eurylochus like wanting to run. This is how I'm interpreting it. But he's saying, you're the guy that's supposed to be the thinker, the strategist, the leader, the king. So he's like, this can't be true. This can't be true. And Odysseus says, I can't. Which then leads to the next part. Eurylochus tried to give him an out. Tell me any reason. I'll believe any reason on why those 6 men died, except, right, that you're the reason. Tell us it was divine. Tell us something behind the scenes happened and that you purposely didn't kill 6 people. And then when Odysseus says, I can't, being like, I chose to kill those 6 people.
Then you have forced my hand.
That's what he, like, okay, fuck. If you're out here now killing our men on purpose, and not on accident, and there's not like some more divine intervention because we know gods exist, then I'm sorry. You are no longer fit to lead. Once again, people get mad, but imagine you were in a friend group, your main, because there's always like a main guy in the friend group. Imagine that main friend group starts killing people in the friend group. You'll be like, oh, you're not, we gotta fucking take care of you.
Lower your weapon.
No can do. You miss your wife so bad you drain the lives of your own crew.
Don't make me fight you, brother. You know you'd have done the same.
If you want all the power, you must carry all the blame.
That's such a good line. If you want all the power, you must carry all the blame. The way I interpret this is Eurylochus is like, hey man, we all make mistakes, but we all come together at the end of the day to try and make it home. But if you're the one who wants all the power so you can make it home, then realistically, this is all your fault then. Because, like, they're willing to, in my opinion, like, they're willing to accept what they have done throughout the musical. They have made mistakes. And Odysseus is being like, everything I've done is kind of flawed. I mean, it's kind of perfect, right? Odysseus is not apologizing for nothing. Eurylochus is like, all right, then. You want to be in charge? Then all of us, it's going to be all of us against one of you. If you truly believe, like, up until now, like, none of us matter, then, you know, the tables have turned.
Eurylochus, Eurylochus, Eurylochus. Odysseus, Odysseus, Odysseus. There is no price.
There is no price he won't pay. Once again, they like to harp on this. Like, Odysseus will literally do fucking anything to go home.
He won't pay. I am not letting you get in my way.
Also, Paramedes, by the way, is the one that stabs him.
My brothers, why?
So this is what also is, this is where like the hypocrisy comes in again within a little bit of the fandom. Odysseus right now was about to just admitted to killing 6 of his own men. Then was about to kill the second in command, who then was trying to find a just reason on why these 6 men died. And then Odysseus was literally just about to kill Eurylochus. And then when the crew stabs him, Odysseus then says, my brothers, why? Because this now has shown the crew that they're all expendable. If Odysseus is willing to kill Eurylochus, who canonically is his brother-in-law and his second in command and very close friend of him, nameless jobber number 7, you're up next to die for Odysseus. So the crew realizes this and says, okay, what? We're all fodder in the eyes of Odysseus. We got to get rid of him. And then this is Paramedes singing and the crew.
Supposed to trust you now. Now your time has come, your luck's run out. Now the time has come to shut you down. You relied on wit, and then we died on it. Whoa.
It's such a good callback. It's probably one of the best callbacks. And then we died on it. Not people. You relied on what? You try to fucking outsmart everybody, but at the expense of us. Oh, I can outsmart Scylla with 6 torches. That just means 6 of my guys have to die, right? Like she's constantly like, okay, if I can, okay, I'll you know, I'll sacrifice 5 guys here, and then I'll leave these guys here, then I'll make it home.
My head. Where are we?
This is something I want to talk about, and this is something I'm very, very, very passionate about. Odysseus, about to kill Eurylochus. Odysseus willingly sacrificed 6 men. The crew stabbed Odysseus. What do you notice, though? What do you notice? Odysseus is still alive. Deep down, the crew and Eurylochus, in my opinion, still care for Odysseus. Because they could have just killed him. Once again, this is where Epic could have ended. But because Eurylochus and the crew probably do still love Odysseus, right? They could have went home and said, oh yeah, he died on the way back, right? Nobody really would have questioned it. No, they kept him alive. Because they Eurylochus probably still is like, this is still my fucking homie. It's still my king. It's still my captain. Maybe he swayed a little bit. Like, Eurylochus is kind of like the Obi-Wan. Like, he never really, like, saw bad. Like, he sees bad in Vader, but deep down knows, like, oh, this is still Anakin in there. Like, he still knows Odysseus in there, but they didn't kill him.
Some island, the first one we found. It's bursting with cows, just roaming around, begging us to eat. So much meat, and hunger is so heavy.
Which is a nice little callback, right, to the original Full Speed Ahead. They've been out at sea. There's constantly no food. Everybody's fucking starving. Pretty bad. I mean, my stomach hurts when I don't eat for like 10 hours, you know? So imagine they might have went days without eating. Imagine what you would do days without eating. Your ass would probably, nah, you know, I'm not gonna put words in your mouth, but I would probably I definitely would fucking take like a little sandwich from like a gas station. And out. I ain't starving to death.
This statue, the god of the sun, don't know where it's from, but here's where we found all these cows to hunt, right in front, and hunger is so heavy. Hunger is so heavy.
Right, so this is a very beautiful. Next time I'm only gonna pause it 2 more times. I want to really listen to this next part, and then pause it and really listen to the next part. But yeah, I mean, this is once again the crew. Everybody's starving, right? Odysseus might have, you know, there could have been some behind the scenes of like, no, we don't stop, we don't stop, we don't stop. You'll survive. We'll eat tomorrow. We'll eat tomorrow. We'll eat the next day. Everybody is starving.
Please don't tell me you're about to do what I think
Oh, the
you'll do.
callback. The luck runs out. Oh my god.
Odie, we're never gonna get to make it home. You know it's true.
You don't know that's true. This is the home of the sun god.
I'm starving, my friend.
But if you kill his cattle, who knows what he'll send. This is the home of the sun
I'm
god.
tired, my friend.
But we're so close to home, this can't be where it ends.
That's such a great part, man. It's like it does kind of get my it gets the eyes a little teary. Right? So this is very similar in my opinion to that of the keep your friends close. Odysseus says we're in the home of the sun god, you know, blah 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 blah. We'll find out later that Odysseus knows a little bit more than what he's putting off, which kind of goes in tail of Odysseus keeps the crew in the dark on certain aspects in a way so he can keep leverage. Right? If Odysseus would have flat out said, hey, these cows are immortal, they are the sun god's friends, maybe then it would have been like, okay, we won't kill the cows. Okay, my bad. Okay, oh, they're immortal cows and they're friends with the sun god. Let's not kill them. But Odysseus says these are cows on the sun god's island. Right? He leaves out bits and pieces that might be the most relevant. Eurylochus is like, brother, I'm tired. I'm starving. Maybe deep down he does know, like, okay, these are like the sun god's cows, but he's like, I don't care, because if you're going to die from starvation or maybe die from a god killing you, maybe starvation hurts more. And the part that really gets me is he's like, no, we're so close to home. This can't be where it ends. And Eurylochus is like, brother, we don't know that's true, because in Full Speed Ahead, I mean, and you know, the Detroit saga is like, hey, we go do this, we'll go home. Cyclops saga, hey, we kill the Cyclops, then we'll go home. You know, then you have Ocean saga, hey, we make it through the storm, then we'll go home. Oh, you want to go home? Okay, well, I'll send you to the underworld, then you can meet a prophet, and then you'll go home. Right? Like every saga has been Odysseus telling the crew, like, oh, we're almost home, we're almost home, we're almost home, we're almost home. And now they're down like 564, 66 guys, right? Eventually, you're going to be like, are we close to home? You've been saying this every single time. Now, I do understand that's important for morality and keeping, you know, make sure nobody wants to, you know, kill themselves. But when do you, as the crewmate, right, go, this guy's lying to us? One, we know that he'll sacrifice any of us to go home. So are we close to getting home, or is he close to getting home? That's why this song is so powerful.
How much longer must I suffer now?
Don't do
How
this.
much longer must I push through
I need
doubt?
to get
How much longer must I go about my
Eurylochus.
life like this when people die like this? Whoa.
And I do like the initial part of the I and the I, then it's, you know, and then it transitions. But Odysseus says, I need to get home. And Eurylochus is like, how much longer must I push through doubt? Meaning that he follows Odysseus, right? He's been listening to Odysseus the entire time. He just asks a few questions every now and then. But realistically, he always listens to what Odysseus said, except for the win back. Right? One time he doesn't listen. Every other time he listens to Odysseus. And there's something deep inside him that says, I don't know if what we're doing is right. I don't know if what we're doing is just. But Odysseus is telling us we got to do this. So I guess we got to do it. And how much longer, right? How much longer must I live my life like this when people die like this? He's like, dude, like, this is not, we're all gonna die. Like, we're all gonna, if we just keep slamming our head against a brick wall, we're all gonna die eventually. Like, fuck it.
Oh, how much
And then the crew comes in. Like, everybody's on board, right? Everybody's fucking tired. They're starving. They're sick of fucking Odysseus, probably bossing them around. But they didn't kill Odysseus.
longer must we suffer now? How much longer must we push through doubt?
And that's we can get home, right? I need to get home, and then it's we can get home.
How much longer must
Oh, there's Paramedes. Bro, this motherfucker is the one that started the goddamn, I feel like he's the one that started the treasure fucking rumor, and he's the one that stabbed Odysseus. This motherfucker gets away with everything. Realistically, all Eurylochus hate should go straight to Paramedes.
go about our lives like this when people die like this?
I'm just a man, right? Odysseus is just a man, and he kills a baby so he can go home to Penelope. Hey, Eurylochus is just a man. He just wants to fucking feed the crew maybe one last meal before they all die. Boo! Boo!
Eurylochus, no!
I wish I know what they say back here. I never know, like, what they say.
You've doomed us. You've doomed us all, Eurylochus! Captain?
And right, here's the hypocrisy part. Oh, you doomed us all. Captain? Why is it calling me captain? Blah, blah, blah. Why is it when Odysseus is admitting that he will kill anybody that's in his way? When the crew stabs him, he says, my brothers, why? This is what happens when you're in shock of your actions catching up to you. You maybe kind of revert back to factory settings. He didn't listen to Odysseus, right? He tried to do his own thing. Then he realized he messed up. He said, oh, fuck, wait. Captain? Like, oh my God. Okay, I'm fucking sorry. Like, please bail me out. The same kind of happened with Mutiny, right? Odysseus was so set on killing Eurylochus. Once he got stabbed and realized that the cards were no longer in his favor, he's like, oh, my brothers, why would you do this? Oh, my fucking love you. My brothers, I love you guys. Why would you do this? Right? It's the same. Eurylochus and Odysseus have very, like, similar stories.
We need to get away from this island now.
And then now Odysseus, once again, very similar to Keep Your Friends Close, he withheld information, then got caught, or, you know, now they got caught, per se. Like, the truth comes out, and then Odysseus is like, and actually, I knew why.
Grab an arm with all the strength your arms allow. These cows were immortal. They were the sun god's friends. And now that we've pissed them off, who do you think he'll send?
Right? He could have said that to begin with. He purposely chose not to say that. He purposely let Eurylochus kill the cow. He withheld information on purpose. And Eurylochus is like, oh, fuck, dude, what? They were immortal? That's terrible. All right, so that's the end of that I want to listen to. Let's do this section right here. Thunderbringer.
King of Ithaca,
Oh, wait.
I think the lives of your nature will go show her what she can't conceive.
So now, right, they killed the, right, if you didn't listen to Epic and you're watching this video, thank you. Give you a little cliff note. They killed the sun cow. Zoo showed up. Basically, yeah.
For true nature will be revealed. Tell me, Odysseus, if I were to make you choose the lives of your men and crew your own. Why do I think they lose?
Now, people are saying this is because of mutiny, right? Obviously, they just backstabbed Odysseus, figuratively and literally. Why would Odysseus choose his crew? And that is a fair point. In my opinion, that's kind of a fair point. But this is also Zeus being like, hey, by the way, like, if I had to make you choose, why do I think they lose? Being like, he already knows, even if there was no mutiny, Zeus already knows that Odysseus would kill his crew to go home because Zeus just told this guy to kill a baby so he can see his wife. Deep down, Odysseus will kill anybody, no matter the cause, to see Penelope. Whether it's the crew that betrayed him after he betrayed the crew, or an innocent baby, Odysseus will kill both. It doesn't matter. And that's what, like, that's very deep.
Enlighten me, King of Ithaca, since hunger was far too great.
Making fun of the fact that his boys were starving. Like, oh, hunger was far too great. They tried to kill a cow to eat. Well, now they should die.
I wonder who take the weight of the damned and suffer a gruesome fate.
Okay, I'm gonna fast forward through the chorus real quick.
Your crime, sublime you for your act of crime. Choose. Someone's gotta die today, and you have got the final say. You or your crew. Please don't make me do this. Don't make me do this.
Now, this is like very deep, right? Because it's obviously connections back to the horse and the infant. That there is still, I believe, right? There's still a little part of Odysseus that doesn't want to kill the crew. Even though he ultimately does, there's, deep down, he doesn't want to kill the crew. Deep down, he didn't want to kill the baby. But, when push comes to shove, we all know what Odysseus is going to choose. Fast forward a little bit. Fast forward a little bit.
Captain?
I have to see her.
But we'll die.
I know.
So this is very important as well for the sake of Eurylochus and Odysseus, right? This is now the end of Eurylochus being alive. Which doesn't mean the end of Eurylochus' story, right? There's like 2 or 3 more songs that really help me seep out Eurylochus' story with Odysseus. Now, when he says captain, Odysseus doesn't say, oh, you guys betrayed me, you're going to die, or, oh, I hate you guys, you're going to die. He says, I have to see her. His reasoning isn't behind hatred of the crew. It's his love and his demand to see Penelope is why he's choosing to kill the crew. It's not like, there's no like, oh, you guys backstabbed me and you were about to kill me. It's like, no, I have to go see my wife. And the Eurylochus says, but we'll die then. And he says, I know. He's not like, oh, but I hate you. He's sad saying this, right? He's sad being like, oh, I know. And then unfortunately, we fast forward a little bit. And everybody is, everybody's dead, dude. There's Eurylochus. Here he is. Everybody is dead. So there's a couple of songs that I want to pull from. One of them is Love in Paradise. I think this is very important. For the sake, now Eurylochus is dead, and that's the end of Eurylochus' story arc. But there's still a little bit more meat on the bone. There's a little bit more meat on the bone from 2 more songs, which is important.
Odysseus?
All I hear are screams.
Odie, get away from
Don't call him Odie, you fucking bitch!
the ledge.
You don't know what I've gone through. You don't know what I've sacrificed. Every comrade I long knew, every friend, I saw them die, and all I hear are screams.
Right? So this is very important because Odysseus doesn't hold hatred towards the crew, right? My comrades and my friends, I saw them die. He's not, if he willingly wanted to kill the crew out of hatred, he would have been like, yeah, the homies died. It'd be like that. But deep down, I feel like Odysseus still cares for the crew.
My dear, come back inside, dear love of my life. Come back to paradise.
Eurylochus included.
It's been hard. I'll stay inside your heart.
All I hear are
I love you, my dear. I love our time here. Life would be so much
Just
worse
let
if
me
you
close
had
my
died. Please
eyes.
stay away from harm. Stay in my open arms.
So this is what I'm talking, like, so this is what I'm thinking. Even though everything that has happened, right? So you have Polites, his best friend, his mother, and you have Eurylochus. And in my understanding, this is because Odysseus still, like, I think he understands Eurylochus's point of view and, like, what happened, and maybe he blames himself for everything that happened. Maybe he blames himself that everybody's hating on Eurylochus, even though everything that bad ever happened to the crew was Odysseus' fault. In this aspect is like and then it's the song Luck Runs Out. Because right now, your luck ran out. You're on an island for 7 years. You got fucked. You relied on wit, right? You try to fucking do shit. Then you told Zeus to kill the crew. And now your ass is on an island for 7 years. And he wants to die. He would probably want to be dead. Right? He wants to die. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I think this part's so great, because it's luck runs. It's like how much longer till your luck runs out? Well, it turns out his luck ran out, and now he's stuck here. Then he gets his luck back. So that's very important. In my aspects of Odysseus, and the next point is like it's kind of the reverse, and you'll see what I mean. It's gonna be in getting the water. It's gonna be in getting the. So actually, I guess we should listen to the ending of Dangerous, so to where Hermes explains the windbag.
Remember every trick in your domain for this. You gotta treat it like it's the main event. You wanna get home, put it all on the line, be dangerous. And lastly, the windbag. We went through so much to get this. Keep this bag closed if you wanna get home, sir.
You won't get another time to try.
The raging storm inside won't let you get closer.
It was meant to stop you by design.
'Cause no mortal can pass Poseidon's storm. Open this bag and you'll never make it home. You'll never make it home.
Right. So right. The storm, as I've discussed before, is Poseidon's storm. So there was never a windbag. There's no mortal can pass through the storm. So if they never met Aeolus, everybody would have died. And they say if you open the storm, you'll never make it home, which we know is like true and like not true at the same time, because Get in the Water literally exists, where Charybdis happens. No! And Poseidon shows up. That was kind of scary. Poseidon shows up, and then obviously the windbag is still closed. During Get in the Water, the windbag is closed, but Poseidon's there, like fucking his asshole up. So then the end of Get in the Water. This is like the opposite, in my opinion, of Love in Paradise, where Odysseus was maybe hallucinating in a way and seeing his best friends and his mother.
You can relax, my friend. I can tell you're getting nervous.
Look at all we've lost and all we've learned.
Odysseus waiting.
So the way I interpreted this is like the opposite, where this is the mom, Polites, Eurylochus, and the crew. Two for the crew, and this is them being like, Odysseus, like, we're waiting for you, in the sense of maybe they don't harbor ill will towards Odysseus, and they kind of understand like what he did, and like Polites has came to terms with his own death. Eurylochus has came to terms with their death. Maybe the crew came to terms with their death. Same with his mother, right? It's like nobody's like mad at Odysseus. They're like, hey man, we're waiting for you in the underworld. Like, come join us. Let's regroup in a way. They're not upset, right? They're not like angry souls. Kind of similar to that in the underworld where like they were angry. These are more like accepting souls, and then they get it. And this is the final part. So thank you if you watched this entire video. Thank you. It's very long. Hour 45. It's gonna end maybe at like an hour 50. Is 600 Shrike, right? Well, Odysseus says is very important here. God, I love this song, dude. Oh my god. Right here.
I don't think you seem to get it. I can't afford to die, cause I will get back to my son. And I will get back to my wife!
Okay, next part, not that. But this verse.
For every comrade, every one of my friends, almost all of whom were slaughtered by your hand, 600 strong!
Right? Odysseus is saying Poseidon killed his men. Throughout everything, Odysseus has never really blamed Eurylochus. At most, he was upset during Scylla, but he never has blamed Eurylochus. He tells Poseidon, you're the one that killed the crew. You're the reason that a lot of people died. And realistically, he's the reason why they didn't get back home. Like that's like my final point of like the Eurylochus story arc is Odysseus never has hatred towards Eurylochus or the crew or Polites. His anger is on Poseidon itself. And then finally later, I guess, I mean, it does kind of flow into it, but kind of later, it does flow into it with Would You Fall in Love with Me? And this could be the last one. This is a little bit of a stretch, but this could be the last one.
What kinds of things did you do?
Left a trail of red on every island, as I traded friends like objects I could use.
And that's really it. Like, it took until the last song of Epic for Odysseus to finally, in a way, admit that he was the one using his friends as objects. He's finally admitting, this isn't a directly like, I'm sorry, but it's him coming to terms of like, he knew that he was just giving out people left and right to die so he could come home to Penelope. Like, this is him like admitting it in a way. So yeah, so I mean, that is the video on why I think Eurylochus is a great character and why I believe he gets too much hate from the fandom in a way that I think if you listen to the songs and understand character arcs and people can make mistakes and what's the underlying meaning of each character, I think, in my opinion, that's why I love Epic so much. I understand every character's arc and why do they do the things that they do and how does that further their story. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe, comment down below, leave a like. And yeah, hopefully there's a cut saga coming out soon. I would love to get some more Eurylochus songs. But thank you everybody. Full speed ahead. I'll see you next time. See ya.